Look, there's 1,000 questions we could ask and seek the answers of, but they evaporate in relation to the priority question of questions, which is God. Solve that question, the question of God. And you move from childhood to glory, to adulthood, to the fullness of heaven. And religion, every religion, has sought in its way, or can be seen as having sought in its way, that ultimate goal. In its quest and journey, it has something to teach us. Every faith, every religion. And they are not all the same. There is great diversity. And the children are very diverse too. And, well, they can only cotton on to certain answers depending on who they are. All roads lead to Rome. Some are long and tortuous, but you would get there in the end. They all connect up. You might, as the Eastern people see it, need 1,000,000 incarnations to master it. And every religion tries to come to your rescue with shortcuts. Do I therefore feel I'm the religion of religions because I have the shortcut of shortcuts? Yeah, I do in a way. I feel it's the fundamental of all ethics to know God. To know his story is to know him. To know him according to the Jesus record is life eternal. Seems to be incredibly helpful. So the Eastern character sits and contemplates God. Oh, but so did the Western religions too. They were contemplative. Nuns and monks and holy men and so on. To be devoted in such a way must mean devotion. What was devotion? That it was more important than anything else to know God. An absurd quest, you would think, for a child to understand the adult. But that is what the progress of childhood is, coming to understand adult life and be an adult. So not so absurd. Extreme relative to the mass of the preoccupation of man, but not absurd. In fact, the height of rationality to prioritize to what is truly important. And this devotion, however strangely performed, is of a love of God, the prioritizing of God, that in some sense God is all, the all that matters. We have it, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind and strength. Not so much a command as a principle of life eternal, our priority. What would rationally be our priority? So we have the notion that God is both truth and love. And of course, fantastic creativity, for all seems to depend on this conception of reality. No other seems to give the sort of explanation that truly appeals to us. And why does it appeal to us? Because we're children of a family of sorts. Might have been a dysfunctional, disaggregating family, but family. We have an overpowering desire for what could have been perfect in some way, conceivably. So this is our God, as the Jesus story has it, Father of all. More importantly, our Dad that loves us individually. Our notion of the perfect, from our experience of, well, what we might say as imperfect family life. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.